What's going on, my friend? It's Jeff Newport from ChasingStrength.com, and in today's video, we are going to discuss how to use the Kettlebell Snatch for shoulder rehab. Shoulder rehab? Yes. I know that sounds a little bit crazy. It's like the last exercise you would use for shoulder rehab, and in fact, you would be correct. So let's dive in, especially if you think that snatches, kettlebell snatches specifically, can destroy shoulders and not rehab them. All right, we're going to pop up here a forum post, a picture of a forum post, which appeared over on the Strong First forum. And as you can see, it's entitled, "I think Jeff Newport's snatch program is rehabbing my shoulders, hip, and back." So to quote Slim Pickens from Blazing Saddles, what in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here? All right, well, look, let's just view the snatch for what it is, okay? It is a tool, right? It's like a scalpel, right? And used correctly in the right hands, it can be used to facilitate healing, and used correctly in the wrong hands, it can be used to destroy, as in tearing the long head of a biceps tendon, for example. So how exactly does this work? Well, admittedly, I rarely, if ever, talk about this because it's just so misunderstood. But I've been using the snatch as a rehab tool for shoulders since the late 1990s when I was a strength and conditioning coach at Rutgers University. Now, why does it work? Well, let's dive a little deeper, okay? So the snatch is basically an accelerated form of the PNF, which is called proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation. It's a rehab system of the PNF pattern D2 flexion extension, where the D stands for diagonal, okay? And here's what it looks like. I'm going to put it up here on the screen, and you can see there are, in this picture, there are 4 PNF patterns: D1 flexion, D2 flexion, D2 extension, and D1 extension. And so we're going to look at the yellow highlights, which are D2 extension and D2 flexion. And essentially, if you look closely, that is the kettlebell snatch. Now, back in the late 90s up until the mid 2000s, we'd do the snatch. We'd use a dumbbell because we didn't have kettlebells back then, right? After we do a bunch, and by bunch, I mean, that's the technical term of a bunch, right, of D1 flexion extension work, and then follow that up with other exercises like one-arm rows, single leg deadlifts, two-arm chop and lifts, single arm presses, lunge and reach to the floor, to name but 4 or 5 different exercises. And then let me just reiterate, then and only then would I ever have someone snatch. So there were a series of checkpoints they had to go through and tests they had to pass, right? Literally qualifications in order to do the snatch. And now, honestly, not everybody made it to the snatch. Totally fine. We either ran out of time or they just didn't want to go there. But these days, those exercises, they absolutely still work, but I recommend you do them on top of a foundation of core restoration training, especially deep abdominal core restoration. And interestingly enough, Dennis, all right, at Dennis, which is his handle, right, is also doing that along with the snatch work found inside the program KSK, King Size Killer. Now, why am I recommending deep abdominal restoration work? And that's because the shoulders often lose flexion, the ability to put your arm directly over your head, right, and external rotation, which looks like this, okay, or this in the case of a snatch, okay, kettlebell snatch, from spending too much time sitting, which most of us do, right? So as a result, your head drops forward like this, and that decreases your ability to take a deep breath and limits the function of your diaphragm. Now, from there, your body over recruits your accessory respiratory muscles, particularly your scalenes, which are found deep in your neck. All right. And that makes your neck and your shoulders tighten up over time. So instead of breathing diaphragmatically from the bottom of your chest up, you end up just being a chest breather and breathing like this. Okay. So as a result of all this, your shoulders roll forward like this, and your pecs and your chest and your lats, right, which insert right here in the bicipital groove on your forearm, your humerus, right? And your lats, by the way, are your back muscles, which are responsible for you doing pull-ups and presses and rows. All these muscles get short and tight. And as a result, you lose shoulder flexion and external rotation. Excuse me, can't speak today. Now, what about Dennis's hip and back? Well, it's really the same thing. It all stems from the same process or problematic process. And so as a result, when you address the core dysfunction, you repattern and reprogram your body's natural neural pathways and then add load to it, just like Dennis did. And you do that with the snatch. Okay. So Why don't we dig deeper into that process in our next video? All right. So in the meantime, if you want to use the same snatch program that Dennis is using, I'll leave a link to that in the video description below. And if you want to know what he's using for his core restoration work, I'll leave a link to that in the description below. So hopefully you found this video helpful. And if you did, click the like button, smash the subscribe button if you're not a subscriber already, and share it with a friend you know who's got some shoulder issues and needs to fix their shoulders. Finally, leave me a comment in the comment section below, all right? Anything you want about fixing your shoulders with the snatch, maybe whether you've tried that and whether it's helped or not, okay? But as always, keep it classy. Until next time, my friend, stay strong.